things coming out of that game and see where the players are currently.
Push Bandits, 72 hours in chat, 10 points. And guess what? They'll probably have more points than the top EU team by the end of this.
You think so?
I think they will.
Okay. I believe that was 11, right? We're at 10 now.
Yep.
Okay, Linnane and Sketch, we saw them.
No, I believe it was actually 15. 11 was the Kingwin duo. They ended up getting second place.
Right. Oh, man, dude. It's too close to call with only 2 games left. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, top 10 place in the money. Excels and Savage are just pushing out Spaceline and Replays for that top 10th spot currently, man. I mean, again, look how close this leaderboard is. I'm telling you, whoever gets a Royale flush,
we'll take it home.
That I'm telling you, dude, not only the 25K, the 10K from the Royale flush, they're going to be top 5 for sure. And we just came super close. 72 hours in chat almost gave us the first Royale flush of the day across Europe and North America. Any thoughts before we take a break, friend?
I think they've woken up. I think the NA players are awake. They understand how to play it. That was a much better game to watch. And I think Game 5 and 6 are only going to get better. So
that's right.
Looking forward to it.
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Stay tuned for more Fall Skirmish. We'll see you soon. What's going on, Fortnite fam? We are back with week 5 of the fall skirmish. After that short break, I'm Zeke, and this week we are joined by Cypher PK, who's dropped knowledge on us and helped us all level up as a community. How you feeling, man? We've got 2 games left.
Good, man. That was a good game 4, and I'm expecting game 5 and 6 to be even better. More limbs, more action, and some more points on the board. So, looking forward to it.
That's right. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot of the action. Dory will help you get caught up with the format, starting there. Every week we change the format, and we're going with an old fan favorite Royale Flush. 6 total games in the duos format. Victory Royales are worth 3 points. 2nd and 3rd place are worth 2. And finally, 4th and 5th place are worth 1 point.
Eliminations. 8 eliminations will net you 3 points. 6 and 7 will get you 2. 4 and 5 will get you 1. And if you happen to win and get 8 eliminations, it's going to give you an extra 2 points, the Royale Flush. So far today, 7 has been the highest for NA.
That's right.
2 teams are currently tied for 7 eliminations. And going into the bonus of the cash.
Ooh.
See?
That's right, man. That Royale Flush. If a team gets the Royale Flush, not only do they get those extra point values, they also get 10K for dropping a Royale Flush. And something else to keep in mind is that bonus incentive.
Yep. $25,000 for the team that gets the most limbs. Currently, Chap at 72 hours and Millionnen and Sketch are both tied for 7 limbs. Definitely something that's beatable. Not only will you, if you beat it, will you be receiving $25,000 after the tournament's over, but that 8th limb will net you 3 points. So it'll probably put you on the board as well.
That's right. And I mean, again, if they could do both, if they just drop the Royale Flush, 8 eliminations at a Victory Royale, that's 8 points, 10K from that, and that could set these players up for that 25K bonus. In Europe, we saw the highest elimination count was 11. In NA, it's currently 7. We've got 2 games left for players to try and beat that. For you guys at home, we love having a conversation with you. Hashtag Fall Skirmish. Always let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you guys at home. Want to hear what you're enjoying, what you wish was done differently. Obviously, don't forget to rep your favorite club.
Bush Bandits.
Bush Bandits. There you go. Cypher's a Bush Bandit, in case you didn't know. We've got 1 week left. Trials coming out during this next week, and then it all culminates at TwitchCon, which is only a week away. We'll currently take a look at the standings heading into the last 2 games of North America with Liquid 72 Hours and Liquid Chap, 2 Bush Bandits at the top with 10 points. Linane and Sketch right behind them with 6. FaZe Tempo, FaZe Geomach with 5 points in 3rd. Nate Hill Symphony in 4th, and Animal and Kiwi Face in 5th. Don't forget, the top 10 teams are the ones placing in the money. So right now, Spaceline and Replays are fighting XLs and Savage, trying to get into that 10th place spot. Now, 2 games left to go. Our players are currently boarding the battle bus, getting prepared to launch into this next game. Now, Cypher, something I want to touch on is this aggressive play. So if people maybe are just tuning in, you're just getting in, you just started watching, what have we seen? How has that helped shake things up?
The aggression has turned up quite a bit. A few teams went down with 5 limbs, and then we had 2 teams at the end finish with 7 limbs. One thing I want to say is I think Liquid, Chap, and Tom, right now they're in the lead, and they have a decent 4-point lead. We saw in the previous EU competition that the team that had the lead for the longest time, they slowed down their game, and they ended up actually getting passed up at the end. I think Tom and Chap are smart enough to, coming off of a victory and being that far ahead, sitting in 1st place, I think they're going to come out and they're going to try to secure the most limbs. So it'd be interesting to see how they adjust their playstyle. I think personally they're going to turn up and try to go for the high kill eliminations.
That's right, man. We'll find out here in match number 5 in the North American scene. Here we go. Battle Bus has launched. Hopefully these players have thanked their Battle Bus driver. A lot of them have, which is good. But now let's check out this Battle Bus, man. Coming in between Lucky Lenning and Flush Factory, heading up toward Risky Reels.
It's a good battle bus for most players. The only people who might not like this, people who want to land Junk Junction or Haunted Hills. But it's a pretty even split across the map, which is good for everybody. And, you know, the battle bus is moving faster, so people will touch down a little bit quicker, even if they're landing very late. Look at Nox down here. He's really high up, and I feel like they tend to choose their landing spot based off of where people are going.
Yeah.
He's choosing to stay really high up, and he notices that nobody seems to be pushing the Viking Hill. That's what I call it. So he might go ahead and land there with Daquan. I do see somebody beneath them.
So keep in mind, last game, that was Nick Merckx.
Yep.
Hysteria that landed here.
There is another team that landed here with them. Science and his
Science,
partner.
okay. All right, we're going to see a battle happen. Now, that begs the question, did Aydan and Nick Mercs, did they go back to Tilted Towers?
I bet they did.
We'll have to find out. I'm excited to see the results here in game number 5, but off the bat, man, it's an okay loadout. Dual pistols,
Daquan
SMG.
pops a slurp. Nick Mercs and Hysteria, Tilted Towers.
Now here's the thing. Do we see Parallax, 100 Kenneth are here as well? We saw Jay Cuddy on the left there, Team 22.
Slurp and the quad.
He's not going to take it?
I think he might let Hysteria pick it up. I'm not entirely sure.
Aragon, B-Sox.
Hysteria's popping a big. They're looking good right now. I don't see Aydan quite yet. I don't even think Aydan is here because we did get to see all the teams. I'm looking at the map right now.
There's only 4 duos.
But it looks like there's a solo. There's a solo like south. Maybe somebody went down early and we haven't seen it.
I'm actually getting word. Hysteria has 2 eliminations. They've already eliminated Aydan.
Wow.
It's already done. So we are 3-1 in the Aydan Nick Mercs rivalry.
Definitely want to see a replay on that. That is impressive. 3-1. Nick Mercs turning it back around.
That's right. Saying, this is my towers, Aydan.
That's good to see. That's good to see. So now we got Parallax and Kenneth. Aragon and B-Sox still alive. Jay Cuddy seems to be by himself. That means maybe Jay Cuddy's partner is already down, potentially. I mean, if Aydan and his partner are already down, there's a chance that Jay Cuddy lost his partner. But yeah, the battle for Tilted Towers. Nick Mercs working his way back and trying to take back that throne. Jay Cuddy launching away, gets hit a few times, but I don't think B-Sox is going to press the issue any further.
I mean, they've got that rift to go, man, if they so desire to leave, but I think it'd be silly to use it this early.
I think so. The circle's further away from Tilted, but not too far away. So they can actually just stay here, farm up for as long as they want, fight for as long as they want, and if they have to leave, they'll leave.
Nick Mercs got the quad out. He goes for a shot.
They're going to disengage.
The walls go up very quickly. They're like, no, Nick Mercs. Please, God, stop. Got 2 more rockets.
And he's got some clingers as well, so he's got a good amount of explodes. Hysteria is nearby for support if needed. Looks like B-Sox is building up. Tags Nick, barely hits him.
It's just a little bit of chip damage.
Just a little bit.
Now the question
big
is,
shields.
Do Parallax and Kenneth, do they come running? You know, they're hearing this obviously go down just north of there.
Looks like they're assessing the situation. They'll probably come running once things get really heated.
Ooh, things are happening.
The trap kill! You love to see that.
Wow, look at this as well. Strugs in Fear, One-Shot Girl, and Morgassi.
Fortunately for General, he was able to crawl away from the trap after it knocked him. King Richard saved him. Well, actually, no, he eliminated the opponent that trapped him, but his opponent threw down the trap right before he went down. Does not get the elimination for it, though, because General's going to be picked up, pop some minis, and pop a med kit. Morghouse and One-Shot Girl. You notice that they're not in Fatal Fields anymore, and I think Symphony and Nate Hill chase them out. That typically happens. You die or you get eliminated too many times by a duo, and you're just gonna have to call it and go somewhere else.
Yeah, they're like, hey guys, you guys have that. We're gonna find a new home. It's good though, starting switching things up. Now Morgassi has nothing, or One-Shot Girl has nothing in the way of meds. She's looking really wounded right now.
Fear and Strugs are holding the top of this, just looking around, playing very patient. They know there's at least 2 teams here. General and King Richard are rotating away from them, but they might come back around if they hear enough action. This depends on the mentality. There is some... Ooh!
Getting tagged
lasered
up
from One-Shot Girl Morghouse. You see, even though they're weak, they're still, like, just like in the previous game, they're still doing a good job of syncing up their AR shots and putting pressure. He just went down.
Oh, he goes down. Morgassi finds that.
It was a bit of a trade there. One-Shot Girl got knocked, and they're both probably going to pick up each other. Yep.
I mean, so One-Shot Girl had about 30 HP anyway, so all in all,
this is definitely favorable, though, for Morghouse, because they actually now are kind of on even playing field in terms of health, because before, Fear and Strugs had a lot more combined health. Strugs has that scar.
This is good, man. One-Shot Girl just staying back, laying down a little bit of suppressive fire.
Morghouse
so
only has 28 epic assault rifle shots remaining.
He's got to rely on that tack of the submachine gun.
He needs to be very precise with it and not waste it. And he only has 100 total materials left. I say they disengage and try to go for the craters and try to bounce away. I think that's the best move for them.
Do you think they Shadowstone and disengage or just bounce?
Shadowstone into disengage. It's going to be better, and it's going to make it harder for them to get shot at.
Oh, man. Strugs in fear, though. They're saying
he doesn't want it to happen. He definitely doesn't want it to happen. He might catch somebody off guard here.
9 bullets. Let's see if he can connect them.
He only has 9, and he only has 9 AR shots.
4.
He's already used 5, and he does not connect any shots.
I think you just let him go, man. It's not worth it. He's out of AR now.
He's okay. I think his partner might drop him some AR ammo. Yeah, he's dropping him a lot of ammo. Okay,
he's just dropped everything. It's only 35.
He needed it. He definitely needed it. That's going to be a big difference. They're already bouncing away. It seems like. Yep.
Oh wow!
I think Morghouse or One Shot Girl was already posted up on the top. Yep.
It's Morghouse.
And look at that silenced epic assault rifle is doing work from that distance. He's doing a good job tap firing and landing those crucial shots.
Immediately, Strugs is like, okay, you guys can go. Nice try, I guess.
I don't know. I think
they're not in a great spot,
though. They might go back for them.
You think so?
Just because Morghouse and One Shot Girl, they're not in a great spot right now in terms of health. Reverse goes down to the Storm. Wheats needs to pick him up. He should be able to. The problem is they don't have a lot of meds, but he does have a Rift to go.
Once he's up,
they're being pushed right now. He's going to have to abandon him. Over behind. Oh, it doesn't get it off, and now they get to keep the Rift to go.
Oh, man, and now they get the free rotation as well as all the loot.
They only got 1 elim out of that because they focused Wheats first. They didn't thirst reverse. But in that situation, it's kind of hard not to just do that. It's too risky, especially against a good player. You don't want to risk focusing the guy that's already down and not the guy that's standing up with a gun.
Right. And now they can use those little vortex, little runes there in the sky that are existing to help in that rotation. Ninja and Monster still alive with no eliminations as of yet. There's still 80 players left alive, though.
They are going into retail.
But we just saw, so Strugs is here in his duo, and Morghouse and One Shot Girl left.
No, it looks like Morghouse and One Shot Girl went back into retail. The red team that's leaving retail is not Morghouse or One Shot Girl. The 2 people that are near the black tops at the back end is Morghouse and One Shot Girl against Fear and Strugs, and they're still pressing the issue. Strugs just went down. This fight has been going on for a very long time. Fear finally is down, so it's a 2v1. But Ninja and Monster hear this. Will they be able to capitalize off of this situation, or will they play too passive and potentially miss out on some easy cleanups? Nick Mercs and Hysteria taken down by CLG, Crispy, and Bobby Bojangles.
My goodness. And now they need to make their way over to that floating island to make the rotation.
They have enough time to pop the meds that they need. It's actually
that's a chug jug. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
That is a nice find right there. So I'm not too worried about these guys. They're gonna get the shields that they need, and then they're gonna go ahead and rotate away. B-Sox and Aragon landing on top of them. I think they smell some blood, and they're pushing Bobby.
Crispy has to commit. Did he commit though? Is it enough? Aragon. Oh, Crispy goes down.
Crispy goes down. Does not get the chug jug off. He still has it on him. Oh! That is so well played by Aragon and B-Sox. Noticing that there was a team that was weak. And just straight committing to it just in time to stop the chug jug. If that chug jug had gone off, it might have gone a different way.
Now over to Kayun. Ray's fire is down, and he's at the edge of the map. Psalm and Base Soldier, though, at the edge. Creo and Zextro are here as well.
Base Soldier is going underneath. There's actually like a passageway underneath that will get him into the house if he needs to. You
gotta think, why wouldn't Psalm just back off? I mean, he knows Base Soldier already went under.
And the Storm's going to be pushing them out of here very soon. They don't have to travel too far. They just have to get to the racetracks, the edge of the racetracks. But it's still going to get pretty hairy if they stay here as the Storm engulfs them, because I don't see a lot of meds on these guys. You know, Zextro has 10 bandages, and him and his partner are healthy, but if they get shot at and the Storm closes, it can get ugly.
Base Soldier here in a tough spot. And they're just kind of playing it a little bit passively. I think they just need to get aggressive. They have advantage. Oh, but look at his AR. He's only got 28 there, so 1 clip remains. And besides, he's only got the SMG and the TAC, so...
Both teams are disengaging. Creo and Zextro, they know they have the advantage in the situation. They've had the advantage, so it looks like...
Can he catch some?
Yep.
Can he catch some?
I think he is.
Yep. He does!
There it is. Now it's a 1v2 for Bay Soldier. Sometimes there's a rift over here, but it seems like the rifts have been used. Unless we don't see it from this angle. There doesn't seem to be a rift. They got to get to the edge of the circle. There is one player standing inside the building of the racetracks. That's Ghost KU, and he was the solo that was there. He's kind of weak, but he's got a sniper rifle out. It looks like he's looking to try to get a pick on one of these guys rotating into the storm.
Take a look at this new safe zone. Look how much farther they have to go.
They really got to go.
They just made it in. Look, they downed that player out in the storm, and he's just chilling there. No loot for them, but look, they have to fight their way after
Soldier
this.
Losing his shields. Nades coming in from Kayun. Look, you hear these nades? It nearly caught Creo off guard. He's doing a good job defending himself.
Just pop the slurp fast. Pop the slurp thing. Thank you.
Kayun got hit once. Now Zextro knows Kayun is at white health. He does not have any shields. He knows that. It's a 2v1, but they got to be careful. If that fight gets dragged out, the Storm will win at the end of the day.
Look how many players have already made it to safety in this new zone. They're going to just look to fortify and see where the new safe zone is. Aydan, Aspect, Lucky Llamas. And again, man, I'd love to take a look at the current scoreboard so everyone at home can see where the players are at. But I don't know that we're going to see 7 broken here. I mean, we still have plenty of players, but I
think getting eliminations in the late game is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And 2 really good players that are very, very deadly in the late game is DMO and Bizzle, and they're currently leading with 3 elims, and they're both alive, and they both seem to be healthy. They're a little bit further away from the storm, about 200 meters away, but they'll probably get in. And if they can make it to the late game, they're a team that I could definitely see breaking that 7 elims. DMO and Bizzle. They do play rather safe. Oh! Shots going back and forth between EU Ashton and his partner, but they're taken out by Aragon and B-Sox. 4 limbs for them. That's going to secure a point, put them on the board.
That's right, and we'll get the scoreboard. There it is, up for you right there. So B-Sox and Aragon, just like you talked about, 4 eliminations. They've got a point on the board. Now DMO, another duo you talked about, 1 elimination away, but so was Excel's and his duo as well. And take a look, Tfue and Cloak still alive as well.
Live and healthy, not too far away from the circle.
And Vivid still here.
There's some definitely heavy swingers that are still up. So we'll see. We'll see who turns up. But I'm gonna make an early guess that Demo and Bizzle will make it far into the game, and they might be our first team to potentially even get a Royale flush.
Oh man. The predictions coming out from Cypher PK.
Watch them just go down as soon as I say that.
Kayun just went down to Typical Gamer.
Typical Gamer. So I'm wondering what happened there, because last I checked, Kayun was alone with the 2 guys at the racetracks. So he might have been rotating and gotten caught off guard from Typical. He didn't have any health. He only had like 30 health remaining.
Right. And now B-Sox got tagged up, so he's got to take some minis, bandage up. I mean, they're just north side of the circle, so they've got plenty of time to get in and get safe.
Look at their mats. 1,000 wood, 1,000 metal.
My gosh.
They've got a lot of extra minis. They've got a decent loadout.
I mean,
they're looking for the win, and I think they're looking for the Royale flush, because these guys are smart enough to know that that's what it's going to take to win. He got hit a few times. Luckily for him, he does have a lot of extra minis, so he's not going to really lose too much. It's just he's going to have to spend 2 minis here to get back up to 50 shield.
Ooh, a supply drop. Okay, so this is coming in.
It's going to land on the tree.
Oh,
well, actually, no, it won't. It's going right past the tree. It just looked like it from that angle.
Yeah. Boop. Question is, who decides to get cheeky and rotate in, especially near how close it is to the storm wall there? Linane and Sketch.
I think they have the best position to go for it, but it looks like they're not going to go for it.
I mean, it's pretty dangerous. I'll give them that.
My assumption is that they're already stacked in terms of loot, and they think it's not worth the risk. A team that would go for it usually are the team that they really need it, like they need a launch pad or they need the extra shields. So even going for a crate could be a sign of weakness that other people could exploit.
That's a great point, especially if they make their way in and they burn a lot of mats and end up dying for it, or terrible things happen. It's just too much of a risk at
Creo
this point.
and Zexro passing near Chap and 72 Hours are winners from last game.
I'm curious to see. So taking a look at them, I don't think
they have an elim.
I don't think. Let me double check to see how many eliminations 72 Hours and Chap has. I will get back to you in just a moment. They have no eliminations. You're right, Cypher. 0 eliminations on the board for them as of now.
Still 52 people left. So
yeah.
Tfue and Cloak, they got 2 elims and they've got a good amount of materials. They do have a rift to go. He's gonna slide down here, use the enemy builds, gets tagged. Unfortunately, you see that's a good example of somebody trying to avoid using resources and then it not paying off. If he had made it through there without using those resources, it would have been good because he probably saved like 100 or 200 wood.
Yep.
But he ended up actually paying the price for it and taking too much damage. So
look who's down below. Bolton Naga Ops, who's ready for the pump action shotgun.
Doesn't have
out.
any shields. If Tfue and Cloak realize that it's a solo underneath them, I bet they'll pressure him. They just got to be careful from State and Aspect, who are holding the high ground right now with a good amount of resources and materials.
I think all of the duos still left alive in the game are currently in the safe zone. I would imagine. Oh, someone's doing take the L.
I think the solo underneath is doing take the L.
Oh, that's so BM. All right, new safe zone time. Where's
All
it
right,
gonna
let's
be?
see where the circle goes. It's so close to them. They're not going to use the rift. They're going to go ahead and just manually rotate into the circle. There's no reason to waste the rift right now. There might be. They got a little bit lucky with the circle being on their side, so they'll hold on to that. And maybe if the next circle is going further away, they'll go ahead and take that rift and try to take the high ground. Tfue and Cloak love fighting on the high ground.
Bolton Naga Ops still down below.
Oh yeah, they're looking at somebody, shooting at somebody. But they definitely are aware that somebody is beneath them. And sooner or later, they're going to realize that there's only one set of footsteps that they're hearing, and they might take that as a sign to start pushing.
Ooh.
He's got a lot of ammo with this quad launcher.
Double barrels. Well, I mean, look at the loadout.
There's some loot over there. There's a trap. You got to take that trap out. Watch your back. That wall is not his. That brick wall is not his. Okay, no, actually, it's his partner.
That would have been crazy, right?
Yeah.
Someone just slithers in, like, hello, let me have your loot, please. And again,
it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, definitely is. But now we got to see, man. It's time to start making these rotations. We got 60 seconds before this area is engulfed by the storm.
Oh, man.
Look how many players are just moving.
Bizzle goes down and he's eliminated, and DMO is currently sitting at 10 health. I really thought this was going to be their game. I shouldn't have said anything. They're both eliminated now.
Curse.
Aragon and Vsauce with 5 elims, looking to get their 6. Vsauce goes down and gets thirsted. Can Aragon secure the 6th elim to get 2 points for this game? He gets some solid shots with the pump. He's building. He has 400 metal left, so he definitely has enough. Will he find this player rotating? He's already done a lot of damage to him. He's got to be careful. But I know what he wants. He needs that 6th elim, and he doesn't get it. Riftmate takes him out. Ooh. A lot of players going down here on the rotation. Tfue and Cloak getting pressure with grenade launchers. He goes down. This is going to be it for Tfue. If Cloak doesn't protect him, is Cloak safe? Yes, but there's more grenade launchers coming back at them. Still alive. I'm looking at the kill feed. Tfue is still alive.
Nate Hill is alive as well. Cowboy says Vi eliminates Ranger, and now look, Cypher, they've got to go northeast there.
Look at the pressure that Savage. They just eliminated Tfue, and now they have Cloak on them. Cloak is moving out, but gets taken out by Cowboy. There's not much that can be done there. Dude, so far, Tfue and Cloak have made it to the late game. They've gotten a few limbs, but they haven't been fortunate enough to translate it into points.
Right.
Nate Hill and Symphony, we've seen them do some serious work, and they're doing it again. They're sticking really close to each other. Look, they're focus firing. Other duos, they know 32. He get a knock right there. They're going for the thirst. They got on a limb.
That was 72 hours.
72 hours, and Chap is still alive. We'll be able to clutch it.
What a great find, taking down Tom. And now look at all these players trying to navigate to the new safe zone.
All right, I think they're going to try to meet up together. Symphony, yep, there we go. He dropped down towards him. These guys like to play near each other. They play the best when they're near each other. They spotted someone on the side. He just went down. Symphony running up, gets shot at, but Nate Hill's going to follow it up. Do some serious damage, but doesn't finish off that opponent. There is Symphony healing up. Storm is almost done closing. There we go. All right, he's dropping a med kit for Symphony. They're still both going to be very healthy.
Now we're going east.
Going to split the bandages. Strafe and Joseph have the ultimate high ground right now. But will they be able to keep it on these rotations? We'll find out. Poach and Vivid.
Still down below.
Still down below. Low ground warriors. Tempo goes down from Aspect.
Everyone's just trying to make their way to this new safe zone. They have so far to go.
Envy Linane gets taken out from Babe Jesus.
Tempo
gets taken out. A lot of big names getting taken out. Good shot from Night Zero. Almost securing that fourth limb. He needs one more to get another point on the board. Will he get it? Will he get the point he needs?
Coming in, trying to.
It's choking him out with the storm, but that's not going to be enough. Colton takes him out, but now Colton has to go up a hill. Chap is still alive, ladies and gentlemen, but he has 40 brick remaining. He needs to get an elimination here and secure some materials if he wants to come out alive. Or he can use the grappler to take the high ground and catch somebody off guard. Those are his two options. He needs to make one soon. He'll probably do something on the rotate while people have their guard down. Someone just threw a shockwave and shot him into the storm. Now he's exposed in the open and he's being pressured. He has no more materials left. He needs to get that grappler out and do something. Someone's right in front of him, going for the shot. Swaps back to his pump on accident. Going into the storm, going up top. He has one more use of that grappler. He needs to use it wisely, or he needs to secure a limb and get the materials. He gets dropped down by Liquid Poach. You can't do that to your own teammate.
Poach was ready for Chap's place down. He edited him down.
Poach and Vivid still alive, and they've got enough materials to potentially secure this last circle. Symphony and Nate Hill are on the low ground right now. They're on the low ground. They're putting some pressure up top. Poach is by himself right now. Vivid is down. If Poach gets one more limb, he'll secure a point. He's stuck in between two teams.
Oh, man.
My guess is Poach is going to focus the guys underneath him. The guys on top are probably going to be able to heal or tank the storm on their own.
Now keep in mind, though, he does have that grappler. He's got the double barrel.
He could go up. He could go up, but my assumption is that he's too focused with the guys below. And the team that he'll have an easier time defeating is the guys below him. But if he goes up, and it looks like he might do that, it's probably the best play for him. He's running low on mats. He needs to go up. He's dropped down. He got the double barrel. Takes out both of them. He took out both of them with a double barrel. I told you Liquid Poach is insane with the double barrel. He's not going to be able to heal, though. This is going to go to the team up top. But that was an insane play from Liquid Poach. Did you see the accuracy? He took out both Symphony and Nate Hill with a double barrel. That is his favorite shotgun, and it shows.
Just unbelievable play coming out of the Liquid boys, and sure enough,
Liquid
Strafe, another of the Liquids.
The Liquids were there in the end.
Can they even be mad at each other? Can Chap be mad? Can Poach be mad?
I think Strafe, you know, got revenge for Chap, and I think it's like this, you know, three-way fight, and it'll equalize itself. That was insane. Poach, you're a beast, man. Honestly, the double pump, I mean, the double barrel, taking out two of the best players in that lobby with two clean shots. They both had shields. Neither of them were weak. They had shields and they had health. He landed two clean shots with the double barrel. Very clutch. That was insane. Securing second place. Doesn't win, but definitely play of the game.
Style points. Style points, Poach. My goodness. That was insane.
It's a bad man. That is a bad man. You don't want to fight him when he has the double barrel. I've seen him do some crazy stuff with it, and that's just one of it. That's just one of his moments, double barrel moments. There's probably a montage out there of Poach destroying people with the double barrel.
My goodness.
Even after the nerf, the double barrel is still strong in his hands.
Poach.
I'm a little jealous because every time I pick it up, I swear I'm never going to pick it up again. I'm like, no more double barrel. I'm just going to pick up a green pump over a gold double barrel. And now I'm going to go home tomorrow, and I'm going to pick up a gold double barrel, and I'm going to die, and I'm going to blame Poach for being good with it.
Poach, why are you so good at the game? Just stop, man. You're making... Come on, man. We'll have highlights ready in just a moment, but boy, oh boy, match number 5 did not disappoint. And I think we have one more game left to play. Cypher, I mean...
So, Game 4, no heal off. Game 5, no heal off. Game 6, most likely no heal off. And people are playing aggressive, and they're turning up, and they're realizing that there's not much left for them. There's only one more game left, so they got to make it count. They got to go all out. All or nothing. Go big or go home. That's the plan.
You think it's full send, just like eliminations galore now?
Well, think about it. 7 elims is currently the lead.
Right.
That's a lot easier to beat than 11. And EU tied 11 in the last game. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of shifts here at the end in terms of elim. I'm hoping that a team comes out and they're like, all right, guys, we don't care about the placements. Let's just try to get more than 7 elims. It's definitely manageable. And it's going to get you 3 points for the 8 elim bonus. Pretty good for your score.
That could be pretty good. We'll take a look at the highlights coming out of match number 5 on the day. Man, I don't even know where to begin, honestly. And there was like quite a bit that happened in the last top 20. But boy, oh boy, this game did not disappoint. Action throughout. I mean, there were so many that where one player goes down and the other player steps up and makes the save. Let's not forget Kayun, who was alive for a super long time here as well.
Oh, Strafe with the sneak attack right there. Strafe is the one who made the shockwave play against Chap.
Yep. And it really, I mean, it forced him to use...
First, Chap gets thrown across because Strafe, his teammate, throws him into the storm, and then he comes back, and then it gets edited down by Poach.
Man, and Strafe was in such a great position, right? Yep. Maintaining that high ground. They were on ultimate low ground. He just has to drop down.
If Poach wasn't in the picture, and it was Symphony and Nate Hill on the bottom with Strafe and his partner on the top, it might have gone differently because that was a pretty big drop. So any person who accidentally slips from up there, if they get shot down, it'll go in Nate Hill and Symphony's favor. But Poach being in the middle ground made it so much more difficult for Nate Hill and Symphony to really even attack the high ground because he was in between them and he was protecting the high ground unintentionally. Poach's best play there could have been to maybe grapple to the top, but honestly what he did was just as insane to drop down like that and take out both Symphony and Nate Hill with 2 shots of the double barrel. Insane. Highlight
of the day so far, for sure, hands down. With that, Cypher, it's time to take a look at the standings coming out of game number 5. Chap in 72 hours maintain their lead now with 11 points. Nate Hill and Symphony, they show up with the 6 points coming in second. In third is Tempo and Geomach. In fourth, you've got Lenane and Sketch. And in fifth, Joseph is Cute and Liquid Strafe. That last Victorial puts them in a top 5. And don't forget, again, it's top 10 to place in the money. So right now, Poach and Vivid are fighting Creel and Zextro for that 10th place spot. And I mean, Poach with that double barrel, that put 2 additional points on the board, 2 eliminations on the board for them. So that's an extra point heading their way.
Liquid Chap 72 hours, they got top 5 that game, so they're going to get an extra point. Separate them a little bit more from second and third. I really do hope they take it home because they're Bush Bandits, but I do hope that another team comes out and puts on a show. Nate Hill and Symphony and Tempo and J-Mock both have a Victory Royale. They have 6 points, so my assumption is that one team either has more limbs or higher average placement. So it's going to be really important for them in this last game. So even if they don't get 4 limbs, or even if they don't get top 5, to place as high as possible and to get as many limbs as possible, just so that if they're still stuck at 6 points, they might be able to do more here.
I think so.
They're a little bit crazier.
Yeah, we've definitely seen them be used more in scrims. I believe Poach recently tweeted out a rotation he made where he claimed high ground from someone utilizing the quad crasher, so we're really excited to see.
I've seen some interesting things from Poach, Chab, and Myth all coming out with the quad crasher.
Oh man, there's been some great plays, but here we go. Starting off the bus with reverse 2K. Bus is coming in from Haunted Hills, heading down toward Paradise. This is a pretty solid bus, all things considered. Not too far if you're trying to go to that north side of the map that you have to fly.
Be interesting to see the spread in comparison to the EU guys, and also interesting to see how many people want to contest the floating island. It seemed to be always contested in the previous competitions. Yep. It looks like there's at least 2 or 3 teams potentially landing there, but maybe one of those teams will notice that and they'll use the island to rotate somewhere else. And I think that's what's happening right now. You can see the pink guys right there, but they're like floating away from the island.
Yeah,
and that's a very smart move of them. So it gives you that option to, like, you know, you might go there, but if there's too many people, you could always redirect and go somewhere else.
Yeah, and don't forget we also saw those floating islands that have vortexes around them as well, just above the corrupted zones. So you could actually utilize the floating island to rotate one of those and then go even farther. So a lot of opportunities here. Right off the bat, Nick Mercs.
I have never seen Nick Mercs outside of Tilted Towers.
Now look who's on the end of the barrel here. It's Ghost Aydan. I mean, this is a rivalry of the century.
He's got such a good loadout too. Wait, is Aydan partnered with Nick Mercs?
No, he is not. He is paired with Ambrew Games. And Ambrew goes down.
It's going to be a 1v2 with Aydan and Nick Mercs. They must have agreed to, like, maybe meet here, because both of these guys outside of Tilted is such a rare sighting, and Aydan just won't leave Nick alone. Let's see if Aydan can make it out of this alive. He only has a pistol and a green tack, so it's not looking too good. I won't be surprised if he tries to just leave, exiting out of the back and floating away.
Just use the vortex to disengage. I think he's probably concerned that they might try to, like, press on him since it's just him.
There seems to be a chest still here. Nick Mercs is now on the roof. He's breaking down. They will meet each other here very shortly. Aydan's going to retreat. He does not have a lot to his name. 40 wood. He can only build 4 pieces before he's out. Nick Mercs, on the other hand, the compact SMG, green tack, and a assault rifle.
It's looking okay for right now. Now, man, again, Aydan is just being pressured. They even go as far as to pop the chest. They're like, hey, look, Aydan, we're not even worried. So where you at? I think you're right, though, Cypher. If I was Aydan,
he needs to exit.
Yeah.
And even after exiting, you know, he needs to try to rotate somewhere that's uncontested. But Aydan is, you know, he's confident, and he's always played confident. So he's, you know, even with a pistol and a green tack, you got to be careful with this guy. He's very accurate, and he can take you out in two hits with the green tack. He'll take you out.
That's a great point.
He's being pressured right now. He's got his green tack out. He's looking for the play. But it's just not enough. Hysteria and Nick Mercs both are very experienced players. They were just not going to let that happen. He didn't have the comeback potential, and that was just a little bit unfortunate. Nick Mercs getting revenge on Aydan. Let's see how that goes for the rest of the matches. We got a fight in the Dusty Divot Diner. Great shot from Kenneth, the heavy shotgun. He does not have a lot of health left, but he has some bandages. Will he stop to pop them? It seems like his partner is down, so he might be going for the revive. Bizzle might let this happen. I don't think he knows where he was.
Oh, look over here, though. Nate Hill and Symphony engaged against Margosi and One Shot Girl.
Margosi being the winner of the PAX Grand Finals.
That's right, man.
He has a lot under his belt. I think he knows they're there, but they're going to choose to disengage. I think both teams don't want to take this early fight. They're both smart, and I see the way Nate Hill and Symphony play. They are aggressive players, but they're smart about their aggression. And I think right now taking an early fight while the circle, the safe zone, is north of them, they don't want to risk that, because even if they win that fight, it might not pay off.
Exactly. Especially even though they're pretty much about to top off, beat 200-200. It's just maybe not worth getting into this early.
Yeah, they just don't have the mats for it right now.
Yeah.
And it was a good call on both teams to disengage, but they might meet up if Morgaus and One Shot Girl don't rotate out early enough. There's a lot of brick in this area here. Fatal Fields is a very good place to land for wood and brick. You can pretty much get max wood, max brick. So it's going to always be a contested place just south in Lucky Landing. We have a team here, and there's a team near the rifts, and they just took the rifts that are on the end of the road there.
Yeah, they just bailed out. They're like, we're good.
Yep. So FaZe Thieves and Alex Ace finishing their farming. They do have to move fairly soon. The circle, the edge of the circle is around Salty Springs, so they're not very close there. They might have been banking on these rifts that were on the end of the road, but that other team actually took both rifts. Or did they leave one behind? It looks like they
one
left
up on the
one behind.
yeah, one up there maybe.
Is that? It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but that either could have been a rift or a piece of loot.
Yeah, blue loot. We'll have to see in a little bit. But back over to Symphony and Nate Hill. Take a look at the minimap at the top right. You've got a team coming up on the north side. Don't forget, Margosi and One Shark Girl are not that far behind. It's high distortion in phase yellow. Okay.
That is a force right there.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with those
Listen,
guys.
HD, man. Oh, calm down, please. Not like this. I don't think they know of each other just yet.
And it looks like they're going in opposite directions, so they might not meet up, but they might see each other here soon because it's a pretty open area. Cowboy and Kasid holding it down in the corrupted zone. This is not a bad place to be. Even if you're on the edge of the circle, you can rotate out of here so quickly using the stones and the like the craters. What do you call them, Zeke?
Craters is fine.
Craters is fine.
Bounce on out.
Yeah, and it's such a good rotation. So just being here, even if you're on the edge of the circle, even if the circle moves all the way to the other side, you can take those craters and just fly across the map pretty much. You just got to be careful not to get lasered. And fortunately for these guys, TXC's not in their game. Hopefully they won't get lasered.
Yeah. We saw in the kill feed, Tfue takes down a player, and his teammates secured the elimination. So they're alive somewhere, and they're racking up elims very quickly. But now we're back over to the PAX winner, Margos. Just chilling, man. They're kind of taking their time. The Storm's at their back.
They're prioritizing the materials, and that's good. They're avoiding the fights. You really want to have 1,000, 1,000. You don't have at least 2,000 materials going into the late game.
Yeah.
One thing they got to be careful, though, is the Storm is on their back. So if they get into a fight here, they end up using the materials that they've been farming for, and then they have to deal with the Storm as well. There is a corrupted zone just north of them, and there are some cubes still left, so that's good. They'll help them rotate.
Yeah, they've got 3, 4, 5 stones there.
And just look at that speed. You get so far, and then you use that momentum. You just carry forward.
So if you don't know about this,
this is the move.
Yep, you Shadow Stone, you take this bounce, and then you carry that momentum. You just continue to hop, and it just keeps your momentum moving forward, so you can really make some very fast rotations. Unfortunately, Margosi hits the little lip there, so it kills the momentum.
This is actually like a very recent change in terms of the momentum carrying over. And a lot of players have found out cool tricks to use momentum in the game, whether it's launch pads or grapplers. And if you jump right as you hit the ground, if you jump, you'll carry that momentum over, and you'll sort of bunny hop across the field. And I think the reason why Margosi didn't do it is because they were in the circle, and while you're flying across like that, you're kind of an easy target.
Yeah.
When you're in that state, that invisibility state, you can't build. And if you try to transition into your normal state, there's a bit of a delay before you can start building or shooting back.
Yeah. I think that was very smart. I mean, again, their backs are to the Storm. They don't really have that far to go. The circle is just north here near Retail Row, so it's not that far away. The Kiwi Face, though, and Sen Animal building their way across near Tomato Town.
Going to try to get on top of this hill. I assume this is in the circle. Yes, it is. They want to control this hill to have the high ground advantage. It's not a bad place to be for them. And you can see he has the quad launcher with 14 rockets in it.
Oh, man. The quad launcher was putting in a lot of work. We saw that earlier. I'm very excited to see one here in game number 1. Now, look. Steve's here. Alex.
They have 2 eliminations on the board so far. Looking to secure maybe the first point if they catch another team off guard. Monster is here. I don't see Ninja with him. That is his partner. And King Richard and the General are here too. So it's like a Bush Bandit reunion.
Getting word that Ninja has actually fallen. El Jefe is down. So his teammate is left to fend for himself.
The sniper rifle is extremely useful in these games because of how many people assume that you don't have one.
Right.
Sometimes it's very hard to fit the sniper into your arsenal. You want the shotgun, you want the SMG, you want the assault rifle, and you prioritize splodes typically because a lot of people are very good at building. But having a sniper rifle in these competitive games can catch a lot of people off guard, and if you hit your shots, we saw last week Tfue hit consistent shots with the heavy sniper and catching a lot of solo players off guard. And the same thing could happen here. You just have to be very accurate and position yourself in a good way. So let's see if that happens today with King Richard.
You know, that's a really great point, because earlier we saw Atlantis Maestro, the Titan he is, he actually got shut down in literally the start of, I believe, game 3 or 4, because someone had that sniper and took him down right off the gate. So that's a great point, man. We'll have to see if Richard can utilize the sniper. But over here, Grand Pooh Bear and Ranger.
Bit of a build fight.
Down.
He loses the high ground right here, but I don't think he's that concerned about it. I think he wants to go and finish off the person that he knocked. Is that his teammate?
Yeah,
yes, that is.
Right
that
here.
is.
He's trying to try to pick him up. Now, oh, it's FaZe Replays who's up top.
And I think Replays, his partner, Spaceline, is down. He gets the edit with the window, putting a lot of pressure.
Is it enough? He has to go to the swap.
Oh my goodness, he has 8 health. He needs to pop that bandage right now. It's going to start ticking for 2. I don't think he's going to make it out alive.
Made it.
I don't think he's going to make it out alive because the storm is going to start ticking for 2 unless he has a way to move across in a very short period of time. Make sure he doesn't take any fall damage here. He might. This is going to come down to the wire.
He might barely make this. Come on.
It will start ticking for 2 in 20 seconds. You know what? I think he's got it. I think he's got it. He will make it out. He has 1,000 wood, 500 brick.
I don't
what was that?
think he's...
I think he hesitated a little bit.
Oh, no. Replays, you got this. Replays.
He has it.
Oh, gosh.
He has it.
Oh, gosh. Just jump! Just jump! Oh.
That small hesitation he took when he was looking to see maybe there was some bandages in that trailer park location, that kind of cost him.
Yep.
If he just kept running at the storm, he was going to make it out. A few health, maybe he could have turned it into something, but he was definitely going to make it out if it wasn't for that small bit of hesitation.
Now we are near, what do you like to call this? I typically call this containers.
Containers is what I usually call it.
Okay. Someone recently told me to call it stacks. Dispatcher is saying containers. You know, there's like stacks of containers.
Yeah. I know, you know, Mick Merckx calls it stacks, but he calls a lot of things different names that, you know, you don't even think of. So I just call it containers. And it's a good spot, especially when it comes to having a lot of metal. You'll notice we were watching Snood and his partner. They both had a good amount of metal. Tfue and Cloak, 2 limbs. They're in the circle. They've got a decent amount of materials. Not as much as they'd probably like, but if they get a couple of limbs here, they could fill up those material counts very, very quickly.
You see King Richard making his way down with his duo partner, and in a kill feed, we saw High Distortion take down Bobby Bojangles.
61 meters with a rifle.
And that was a straight-up elimination. That wasn't a knock. And now Clarify here and Science. They're trying to make this rotation. I feel like the position they're going from now is pretty safe.
Sniper as well. You got the heavy sniper. You're seeing more use of the sniper, I feel like, in these modes, and people are realizing that they are more valuable because you can catch people slipping.
And now look at this. They're looking like they're going to make this safe rotation. You do have people all around them, but if they approach this correctly, nope, just kidding.
Another snipe shot coming from the west. You really don't see this many snipers.
Yeah, this is probably more snipers than we've seen all day in Europe. Now taking a look at the scoreboard right there at the top. These currently with the most eliminations. Now keep in mind this is outside of people that are eliminated. So right now we got a lot of teams here with 2.
72 people, 73 people still alive. That is a lot of people.
We got another minute before this storm overtakes this area and we get a new safe zone. So now I'm assuming we're going to see things slow down a little bit, Cypher. You know, a lot of these players have already kind of established their ground. They've fortified. Now they're just waiting to see someone else make a move. Maybe someone make a mistake.
I think Tempo might have just knocked down High Distortion, if I read that correctly.
Hesse here losing his teammate to Geomach.
But having so much loot right here, he's going to be stacked out on brick and wood, and he has a good amount of shields and extra shields. Here's Tempo and Geomach.
We're near Tomato Temple. Still 70 players.
DMO eliminated Monster from 80 meters with a rifle. So that duo is now down.
Keep in mind, this is still just game 1, right? We almost say like a warm-up game, so it's okay.
They always tend, the first game is always the slowest, and the last game is always the most crazy.
Yeah. Now they're just trying to gather some information, trying to see what there is to see. Look at how many players are here built up. 2x2s, even some as far as like Ashton and Jack. You see they just took over that
whole house is now theirs. And they're being very smart about it because they're actually they're building to replace the house, but like I said before, you get more materials out of replacing a wall than just keeping it there. So you're using materials to fortify your base that you're currently in, but taking down that wall is going to get you like 14, 16 materials, and then you spend 10. So you're still gaining slowly while also fortifying and having walls that belong to you that you can edit and look through.
Now we get the new safe zone cipher. It's down south. A lot of these people have to make rotations. Mista and Ghoul are just out. They're like, time to rotate.
You'll notice a lot of really good players, especially like Ghost Ghoul, they like to make the early rotation so they don't get caught with the storm. They don't want to risk that. Nate Hill and Symphony, I think
they secured an Elim there.
They secured an Elim. They might be looking for his partner, or the person might have instantly gone down. There is another team near the diner on the other side of them. Parallax and Kenneth are still alive.
Oh, man.
Last time we checked on them, they were at the diner, and Parallax was down, and they're still there. So my assumption, if they have not eliminated a lot of people, is they're kind of low on resources.
Yeah.
Because being in the same place for that long, you can't really capitalize off of looting or farming. There's not really a lot of materials to get from the diner anyways.
We see One Shot Girl Margossi here engaged with Strafe and his dual partner. And man, they're just trying to make this rotation. Storm's coming in though. They need to start moving on along.
Here's where you'll see people try to get away without building. Morgau's just moving. Very minimal builds. He's hoping he doesn't get shot, and if he doesn't, that'll be great for him because he spent no mats making this rotation. It's risky. You see the window opening up there, but it's not even aiming at him, so he's not even going to bother. And now he feels like, okay, I'm close enough to a lot of people, and I'm close to the circle, so let's get in. You see how he spent maybe like 60 or 70 materials making that rotation, and if he had been focused, he would have ended up spending 400 or 500. Just the fact that he was able to slip by saved him so many resources that he can use in the late game. And that's why you'll see players make like plays like that. You might think, oh, that's so risky, and sometimes it costs them. Sometimes they do go down because of it, but it's so worth it when it pays off like that.
And taking a look at the kill feed, Tfue finds Base Soldier, and another player went down as well. I don't know how we're doing it, Cypher. We're still at 66 players, and look at the new safe zone down south. Look at the congestion up north of this circle.
Everybody was hoping it would finish up on the hill, so they positioned themselves there.
Everyone from up top has to make their way across each other down in the new safe zone.
Tfue and Cloak, unfortunately, are low on health. They have the materials, and they look like they have the weaponry, but Cloak looks like he's bandaging, so he might be sitting at 75 when it's all said and done. Tfue sitting at 86 health. That's not a lot of health, so if they get focused on this rotation, it could get ugly. However, they need one more elimination, right, and he took out Liquid Poach
with a Splode. Not only did he take down a Titan, but that's a point.
That is a point right there, and they're not done yet. I think they want to take down Vivid with him as well. They're putting a lot of pressure on Vivid. Vivid's going to do a good job protecting himself, adding extra layers. Some rocket coming in on Tfue. He needs to be careful. If he gets touched by one, he's going to go down. Cloak is also extremely weak. There's a campfire that's very clutch. If him and Cloak, yes, I was going to say they need to reunite, and they need to try to use that campfire together. Will he pick up the Boogie Bombs? Yes, he will. There's no reason to carry two assault rifles. So, they have the materials.
Oh, that's a player on the left.
4 limbs. He's building up. He's trying to avoid the storm. He cannot get tagged. Him and Cloak splitting up slightly. Cloak a little bit more weak.
Hysteria!
He takes out Hysteria before going down. They need one more limb. Cloak is down to 2 health remaining. He's rotating out, still alive somehow. And he goes down to the storm. He goes down to the storm. Tfue is in a good position. If he can make it into the circle, he has enough mats. He just needs to secure one more elim to potentially get a second point. It's looking pretty grim right now, and they're going to go down, but without any second point. At least they got 5 limbs, though. That was pretty good to secure that in the late game. Unfortunately, not having extra minis kind of cost them there. They were too weak to make that rotation. They had the resources, but they got focused too much. It was really clutch on Cloak to realize that he was low health and go and take out Hysteria before going down. Sometimes you got to make that play. Sometimes you got to understand, okay, this is too hard of a rotation to make. Let me try to get something on the board before going out.
Yeah. And you saw they split up as well, so he was like, hey, you take high ground, I'm just going to try and make something happen. It's Hysteria. They got him. Keep going, man. Now we're down to 41 players. We're moving
Parallax
east.
Goes down to the Storm and then gets eliminated by Dusty. And you gotta recognize when somebody goes down to the Storm, if they bleed out, no one gets the elimination for that. But if you take them out, even after they get down, you'll get that extra point. So you gotta be aware of your surrounding. Excels and Savage. Oh, gets hit really hard by that pump.
Oh, he's just got to bail on his teammate.
Storm is closing in fast. They need to rotate into the circle. He has about 600 materials left. He's going to start using the grappler to save the material count, so he doesn't have to spend too much to make this rotation. He might even be overbuilding right here because no one's really shooting at him, and he's using a lot of his resources without getting pressured.
Guys, you gotta go. What are you doing? Oh no! Oh, they got caught up in the Storm. And I believe I saw on the kill feed earlier, Nate Hill went down to envy Linane and Sketch. I believe Sketch got the knock and Linane got the secure. We're down to still 30
still
people.
A lot of people alive. I think some of these guys need to realize that the elimination incentive is what's going to win you this tournament. And it's what's going to secure you the cash prize. If you can go out and get 10, 11 eliminations, that's how you're going to win this thing. So we're going to see some more aggression, hopefully coming from these guys in the next few games.
Now we have to go onto this mountain right now.
That stink grenade really stinged him a little bit. He's lost so much health as a result. He's down to his last 30 health. 300 wood left. He's got a campfire. He's got some minis. He just needs to get to the circle and try to make it out with his partner. Ghost, Tfue, and Colton holding the high ground. They have enough materials to secure it. This is going to be the final circle, so they just need to layer with what they have and maybe go for the heal off and send one person down to get some more limbs. Sketch and Envy Lane. They survived. The Storm was on their back. They've got 2 medkits. So they'll be able to get healthy if they don't get focused here.
You gotta wonder, are they gonna probably save one of those for a potential heal off?
I think they're both too weak. I think they both have to use it.
Yeah.
It would be smart, but it's also a risky play. It's a risk-reward type of situation.
Oh, Colton knocks Envy Linane with a rifle.
Someone just used a shockwave and fell into the Storm. And now they're trying to run back into the circle, but they might go down, and yes, they did. A couple people went down to the Storm.
Triz takes down Animal. Colton finds an elimination there on Envy Linane. Tempo takes down Triz and shotguns someone else and finally secures Triz as well. There's a lot going down.
72 hours. And Liquid Chap still alive. 0 limits for both, but these guys play for the late game. They always do. They're very consistent at making it to the end. Tfue and Colton trying to keep the high ground. They're being pressured and challenged, but JMock goes down, challenging them. JMock will bleed out here shortly. I don't think Tempo's gonna be able to save him. You see how they're putting pressure on him from 2 different sides, and it works. There's another elim. That is 5 elims for Tfue and Colton. They need 1 more to secure a second point. Everyone alive right now has secured a point at least for being in the top 5. So you got to feel good about that. Now it's just time to see if you can secure top 3, maybe a Victory Royale, or maybe more limbs. Someone just used a shockwave grenade and got knocked by the Storm. That was Liquid Chap. I really wonder what just happened there. Colton is going to go down and try to find people who are trying to heal. It seems like he can't really find anybody. It was a good attempt, but it did not pay off. Tfue is going for the medkit heal. He should be able to get it off, but the question is, will somebody else out-heal him?
2 players have gone down.
He must have mistimed his heal.
Colton, it's down to 1v1. 72 hours gone. It's Tempo that secures that win. Wow. I was not expecting game 1 to go down that way. And we end up going off to a heal-off.
I think we'll see less heal-offs as the game continues, because I don't think anybody had more than 5 elims.
Right.
And that means that there's a team that's currently leading the elims with maybe 5 or 6 elims at most. And people are going to realize that, hey, we can get $25,000 if we just get, 6 elims, 7 elims. Let's go put it on the board and put some pressure so that people go for that. Since the bar was low for the elims, more people will probably go for it in the second game and third game. So
okay. Yeah, because, I mean, in game 1 of Europe, we saw Tfue and Kinstar drop 11 eliminations out in game 1, and we see half of that here at Max in game 1 of North America.
That might have actually discouraged some people from even attempting to go for it, considering 11 might have seemed like a high number for them. But since this one's starting off slow and the elim count is lower, more people might see it as an achievable thing. Like, hey, we only need 6 to get 25,000 or 7. Let's go for it. Let's try to secure that. So I think game 2, you'll see more people attempting that, and it will just snowball, and hopefully they'll keep pushing it higher and higher, and we'll see some crazy plays coming in.
I hope so. Let's take a look at the highlights coming out of match number 1 from the North American scene. Tempo, though, secures it all, and I mean, this is how we started the game, was Nick Merckx versus Aydan rematch.
I'm so surprised they were there.
Yeah, that was not Nick/Aydan Towers, so I'm not sure what was going on there, but they met up on the floating island. Phase replays.
Replays nearly making it out.
Oh, so he made just one. You talked about him, man. He hesitated for 1 brief second, and that was all it took. Tfue and Cloaksy as well.
Taking out Poach.
That was a huge find. Huge find there. And man,
Nate Hill going down to Excel's. Tempo winning the game. Even though J-Monk went down, he went down late game, but Tempo found a place to be and healed. Did what he had to do.
He did what he had to do here in game number 1. Don't forget, we have 5 more games heading your way after this. We are gearing up all of our players. They're boarding the battle bus. They're just taking their sweet time, but we'll have more of that action heading your way as soon as we can. With that, man, this is a very slow start to the day. I'm a little disappointed, just a tiny bit. Not a lot, just like a little bit. Like, I wanted to see. Europe was like, hey, 11 elims? Sure. And then North America was like, 6 elims? Maybe?
Oh, yeah, they definitely started slow. And it's like a different type of Fortnite culture like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The NA guys, they like to get the elims in the late game. It's like their meta. And, of course, the EU guys do that as well, but they also do try to secure a few prior to that. We saw a few teams in the first game of the EU get 4 elims, 3 elims, going to the late game, and that was a consistent thing. We were looking at the late game here, and the most was 2 elims before the last few circles happened. And I think at the end, I don't even think anybody got 6 elims. I don't think anybody did. So whoever got the Victory Royale is going to be leading with 3 points, and then maybe there's another team with 2 points. But I think every other team had 4 elims or 5 elims or less, and you need 6 to get 2.
Yeah.
So turn it up, guys. Go for those elims. I promise you it's the way you're going to win the game, because the people who won and placed in the top 5 in the EU event were slaying out. And they were getting those consistent points, 4 elims, 5 elims, placing top 5 with 4 or 5 elims. That's how you do it.
Yep. And obviously more quad crashers. We need to see more quad crashers just across the board. We actually didn't see a lot of the quad launcher. We saw 1 duo had it at the start of the game, which is pretty surprising because, I mean, North America does favor that as far as, like, during scrims, and that's kind of the meta as well.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see if we'll see more of that. We actually didn't even see a lot of, like, rift to goes, which is really surprising because I feel like EU
we saw a lot
had
of
more of them.
snipers.
Yes,
a lot of teams had the sniper rifle. I think people are noticing how effective it can be in these games. And there's some very accurate people out there, and I feel like they always prefer to have an SMG over the sniper. But most of the times you're fighting either long range or very close range, and you can give up some stuff to fit it in, and it could pay off big time, especially when there is an elimination incentive like we have today.
Yeah, for sure. And don't forget, this is just the first game. This is just the feeler out, okay? We saw a similar thing kind of happen in Europe. First game was a little slow. There was some high eliminations happening, but then the action ramped up over the course of the next following subsequent games. So I think here in game number 2, they're going to turn it on.
Pick it up, fellas.
Well, what are you hoping to see from the Bush Bandits?
Well, the Bush Bandits, I didn't see them. Well, actually, Liquid Chap and 72 Hours. I think they got second place, which is good. I like that. That's gonna put us up there, and I think they'll consistently make it to the end. And those guys are probably our best duo on the Bush Bandits. No offense to everyone else. I just think they have what it takes to take it home. If anybody from the Bush Bandits is going to take it, it's going to be Chap and 72. So go out there and do your thing, guys. Just and also, I want to see 72 Hours put the Bush back on, because I remember in one of the duos, he eliminated me while he was wearing a Bush.
Oh.
And at first I was upset, but then when I realized it was him, I was like, you know, it's whatever. Tom is a cool guy.
Yeah, Tom is great. Super friend. Great guy. Yeah, man. So obviously we should talk about, this is the last week 5, and then we're on to TwitchCon. We saw the club standings earlier. Club standings are very, very close. And again, we've got the trials this week. I mean, Bush Bandits, you guys have been on a little bit of a tear for a while now. For like the last 2 or 3 weeks, you guys have just been on top.
We've been leading since the beginning.
Yeah.
Pretty much, which is great to see. And both on NA and EU, like, we've been doing well.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's very close, and we got the trials, and we have TwitchCon, which is, there's gonna be a lot of points up for grabs. So like any one of these clubs could potentially come out on top.
Even Lucky Llamas, who are down there at the bottom end, they're still finding their way up. They're right behind the Rift Raiders, man. A lot of these teams are clutching it up, coming out on top of these trials. So I think people will be surprised to see what trial number 5. Wait, is that trial number? Yeah, that's trial technically number 5.
Oh, we haven't talked about it yet, right?
No.
Will we talk about it today?
Oh, maybe. I'll think about it. I might tease it. We'll
I might
see.
have to just leak it anyways.
For you guys at home that are tuning in, enjoying all the action, don't forget to use that hashtag Fall Skirmish. We love to hear from you guys, hear what you have to say, make some predictions. What do you think? What are you hoping to see? Obviously, Quad Crasher. I'll just answer the question for you. Quad Crasher. Yep, got it. And obviously, talk about Cypher. He's been great. If you guys missed out on the European scene, man, you guys missed out on a lot. Cypher was dropping a lot of knowledge on us then. And I mean, we're just gearing up right now, man. We got 5 more games left to cast with you, so it's going to be a great day overall.
It's only going to get better. It can only get better.
Yeah.
When it comes to Fortnite, there's more at stake as you continue. There's only a few more games left, and then you're just going to be like, all right, guys, this is our moment. Let's do it. And that happened in the EU scene, and we're going to see it happen again in the NA scene. Yeah. Game 2 coming right up, guys. Let's see how this battle bus is shaping out to be.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully all the players thank the bus driver for working tirelessly, but now we are hopping into game number 2 on the North American scene.
I don't really thank the bus driver, to be
honest with you. What?
I don't. I always forget.
All right.
It's not that big of a deal, right?
Look, I'm just saying, if someone's working tirelessly, you just want to give them a thank. Look at all those thank yous. Space Lion did it.
I mean, he's dropping them to their death, so, like, I don't know if I should be thanking him.
All right. I'll give you that. That's fair. Okay, but here we go, seeing out the new bus. It's a low bus as far as the map goes, so players are going to have to go a little longer, stretch a little farther to get to that north half. Now, what I'm curious of, we kind of saw a little bit in Europe, was some players, some duos specifically, swapped up their landings.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if how that develops over the course of NA. We're looking Tilted Towers. So my first question would be, those duos on top of Floating Island, is that Nick Mercs? Is that Aydan?
It might be. I think they're going out. They're going after each other, and they decided to pick a more neutral ground because Tilted seemed to be Aydan's like favorite location.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention is they are actually here, and Hysteria is very weak right now underneath. Or he's on top. I can't see where Hysteria is.
Let's take a look. So I believe, yeah, he's just on the other side down a little lip there.
Yeah, he's popping a med kit. He should be able to get the heal off. But they're putting pressure on Nick Mercs. Aydan is very weak.
Hysteria can't
They have not
really
thirsted
help.
Nick Mercs yet, and they just did. Hysteria might be able to clutch this if he hits Aydan first. But they send Ambrew initially. He did take him out, so that was well played on Hysteria. 1 for 1, all right? So
1 for 1.
Nick Mercs took out Aydan the first time. Now Aydan's gonna bounce back a little bit, and I think these guys are just gonna be laying here for the rest of the tournament. One thing I want to mention really quickly that we haven't talked about is the battle bus is actually moving 25% faster.
Oh.
So these late game drops, they're not as bad because you'll get there quicker.
Yep.
So by the time you touch down, you won't be as behind compared to people who jump off right in the beginning. It's a good change. I think a lot of people like that. Flush Factory. I've never landed here before.
Really?
I mean, I've only landed here maybe for a challenge.
Okay. Yeah, Flush Factory is pretty good. Loot's pretty solid. It is on the corner of the map there, but Aspect and Zayt have landed here as well.
They can control the high ground.
Yeah, man, this is a tough spot. The circle is not that far. It's up by shifty shafts, so they really don't have too far to rotate. But it's Aspect and Zayt.
Going up against Nick A30.
This is going to be a tough one on both sides, but look, I believe Colton.
Nick A30 took the high ground and put a lot of pressure on Aspect, doing some serious damage. He knows he's one shot because he hit him twice with the silenced legendary assault rifle. He now has the low ground and he took a lot of damage.
They very quickly respond. Say,
yes.
Nick, stop it.
Nick A30's partner, Bewitching Gamer, needs to come in and help him out because he just got knocked. Will he be able to capitalize? Nope. Now it's a 2v1 situation. And what's probably going to happen is they're going to play it smart. Zayt is going to protect Aspect as he bandages. There's no reason to rush the situation. Bewitching Gamer seems to be staying. He might have had a chance to rotate out, but he decided to stay. And I think that might be a little bit of a mistake. Yeah. Considering it's a 2v1, you don't have shields, and it doesn't look like he has the best weapons.
He's just a gray SMG.
Yeah, so I think he should have tried to maybe leave. I just don't see this going in his favor. Zayt and Aspect are two insanely good players, and they're going to be very calculated about this. Even though it's a 2v1, they're playing very safe, and they're attacking him from different sides. Man. Getting some hits on him. He has no more materials left, and that's an easy cleanup.
Wow. Dude, just the way that they Oh, that's rough. That's disrespect.
-3 points for Aspect and Zayt. That's tough, man.
I love the way that they kind of diverted his attention two different ways. He just didn't know where to aim. They just caught him off guard doing different things. Really well played there.
They respected the opponent up until they knocked him. They had
and then they...
Whoa! So close! Kenneth hit some really good shots with the pump, but it just wasn't enough. He nearly knocked out that guy that was rushing at him.
Bold Naga, though, comes out on top. Now Sace.
Smashing and Salty. Typical Gamer is putting pressure on these guys. I think Typical Gamer is solo right now. You can look at the map. He's the red arrow on the minimap. He lost his partner early when they tried to land at the Vortex. So right now he's just running around Salty trying to maybe pick off some people, but he's decided to disengage after these two guys showed up.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. If you can catch someone off guard and take them down early, make it a 1v1, then it's kind of worth it, but Ops would just say, look, I'm going to live to build another day. I'm out of here. Let's take a look at some replays, though. Zexro and Rio.
Great shots.
Precision, man.
That silent Epic Assault Rifle is so good at that range. You just got to tap fire.
You talked about the spread specifically. If you're just careful and precise about how you're shooting, it's a laser beam. But now Reverse 2K and Rise.
And Reverse likes to land in Snobby Shores a lot. I've watched him in multiple tournaments, especially duos. He loves landing in Snobby, so he knows this place inside and out. I would be surprised if him and his partner don't take out Naka Ops. I think they already took out his partner, so they know he's here. They're going to put some pressure.
Yeah, that was a grenade down low. Here's the thing.
Right behind him!
He saw him for a second.
He did take off some of his shields. It wasn't a clean shot, but it was enough to at least know that he has shields. And you notice that in these 2v1 situations, these guys don't just rush in, because even in a 2v1, it's very easy to make a mistake, run into a trap, and now you turn into a 1v1. We saw that happen multiple times in the previous competitions, and it can happen again here. But
he's trying to boogie bomb. He gets it.
Oh, he boogie bombed himself.
He's trying to run.
It's too late. Reverse knows he's there. I guarantee you, Wheats was yelling on the mic, "We're both boogied! Hurry up! Take him out!" It was a good attempt. Reverse was far enough away that if that boogie did not connect with him, he could have potentially gotten a clean headshot on Wheats and turned it into a 1v1. He didn't have a lot of health, so it probably wouldn't have gone his way, but he might have been able to secure an limb if he thirsted him.
Take a look near Dusty. Look how many players are here around. Cuddy and Salt are making their way out. K-Sid and Cowboy are making their way down toward Ghost Sean and Ghost Snood inside.
You see, all these guys are coming in because of the Vortex. They're going to it. They want to be near it. or they want to use it to rotate into the circle. That's why you're always going to see a congestion of players around here. Cowboy and Case had taken some fire from King Richard and his partner. Back in Salty Springs.
Horrify in a tough spot. He's being
2v2
pinned.
situation.
What can he do here?
He's just
That's a chiller that
holding
just went down.
left click, taking out Horrify. And
People
now
are slipping and sliding.
Mate TV is going to go down 2. He just got hit with
Oh no, the chiller.
ice trap.
He's trying to stop himself. Okay, he's like,
trying to, he might not get spent. Okay, I was going to say, if he moved too much.
if he's continued to slide, yeah.
Okay, so they have enough bandages and they have a campfire. And they have a lot of loot. That's very close.
That would have been really fun. I'm not going to lie. But taking a look at this Margassi and one-shot girl replay. They find Clarify in Tilted Towers. Now keep in mind, one-shot girl is down, so Margassi is fighting by himself.
He has no materials, and he's in Tilted, which you're not going to get a lot of materials out of Tilted. Poach and Vivid against King Richard and the General. But let's not forget that Cease and his partner are still rotating from the Storm, and they're rotating right into this fight. Vivid is looking for the long-range pump shot to try to take some damage off. He has 4 shots in the quad launcher. He's going to try to maybe take the high ground or look for a different angle to use this gun. Look at these edits.
Oh, sneak. He makes his way to... Oh, there's a rift right in
but
front of him.
He's
Poach and him need to go.
They both got it as the storm's closing.
And look, they can even use the vortex from floating island to travel even farther. There is a floating little rock there, chunk to their right. And they have their eyes set on the prize. They know exactly where they're heading off to.
There are going to be so many teams just south of Pleasant in that area, because you can see those teams that are flying through, they use the vortex, and they're going to land close to each other. They won't be able to get all the way into the circle, so there'll be some fights happening right outside of the circle, and then they're going to huddle up. As soon as they get in, they'll probably box in. So a majority of the players are going to be on that, southeast side of the map. So anybody on the northeast has a big advantage that they're not as contested.
Now Vivid's got 14 rounds in the quad launcher.
Vivid and Poach know this. They know the rotation is going to be like that, which is why they're setting up here. They're not even in the circle yet, but they're looking for people who are rotating into the circle. And they're being built up on by Aragon and B-Sox from Luminosity.
I mean, they've got that quad launcher. They can make something happen.
Not notice!
It's not enough!
B-Sox is going to take Vivid down, and now it's a 1v2.
He's got the shockwave. Is he going to burn that now?
He might use it. He might use it to catch him.
Poach
he goes straight
running.
up and back down. He probably might use it again. While Aydan pushes him, he's probably gonna use it again.
Aydan responds with the builds though.
Where did Aydan come from?
I have no idea, but they are here and they're ready to play.
Aydan and his partner are now in the mix as well, and there's another team rotating away from them, down beneath.
They saw that and they were like, nah, we're good. But
B-Sox.
He's still down low.
He caught Vivid off guard, or was that Poach?
Yeah, that's Poach up top.
So yeah, he caught Vivid off guard.
Man, yeah, Vivid made an edit and then B-Sox was just there, spraying him down. He cracked him with a shot there, down to 12 HP.
It's very easy to lose track of somebody, and when there's that many footsteps, it's very easy for them to sneak up on you like that. You can be as focused as you want, but sometimes you'll be focusing on